So RNA-seq. So I'm trying to go to the folder where we are. It is. So like I told you yesterday, so it's actually possible to do this using one line of code. So, and one way we can actually do it is to just probably pipe it. But before I do that, I just want to show you something. You know what we did? I should go back here. So I just want to copy this. So if we copy this link, so I will first demonstrate it on, on the interactively on the terminal. So one way you can just do is to probably use or and then the link. So you paste it here. So that one, right? So, but instead of probably running it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pipe this. So you can pipe this and then pass it to set, which is, set, you can use this one to convert, right? You can use set, this, convert this, comma to what? To tab. So this I will specify it, right? And you want it to be done, globally. Once that one is done, so this particular one is going to take the output of this first, of all. So it's going to pass it to set, and set is going to convert all occurrences of commas and then convert it to tab. After that one is done, so the next thing we did was to actually do what? So the next thing we did was to sort. So you can now pass this output to sort minus, you can see sort minus G minus K, which is we are sorting by the P value, remember. So we are sorting by the P value, which happens to be in the sixth column. So that is why this one is there. And then you can also pipe this to what? So awk. After that, so after sorting it, so what we did was like, okay, we want to filter, we also want to select the column. And then Tochukwu showed us one efficient way to actually do this. So we are going to do this in one single shot. So awk this. So we want all occurrences of n out. So we want to retain the header. So that's why this one is there. Sorry. So you want to retain the header. So your n out is always going to be 1, right? So this is going to be 1, n out equals to 1. Or you want column 6. Your column 6, you want it to be less than 0.05, right? So if you remember, is 0.05. So I want to filter based on the p-value, and then you want to print. So this one we select, this particular code is going to select, so you want to print $1, $1, $2, $6 rather, and $8, and $8, $8. So if you do that one, so let's see what will happen. So we can see what we have here. Okay, let me just do this. And now equals to 1. So let me pass this to Ed so that we can probably just see it. So we can see that, okay, our gene name has been retained. So then we have one last step. The last step that we have is, yesterday we had to like add an extra step to actually make everything nicely formatted. So we want everything to be pretty so that, the ends gene is going to sit on top of this particular columns. The p-value is going to sit on top of this column, and the symbol is going to sit on top of this column. Then we can add this extra line. So if you do that one and then pass it to Ed, probably Ed or less, anything you want to do. So let me pass it to less. So let's see what we'll have. So we can see things are now nicely formatted. And now you can now save this as probably your, let me just call it rna.txt. So by the time you do that, so you can say less rna.txt, right? So we can see that we have our final results. You can see we didn't generate any unnecessary intermediate files, right? So let's now see how we can actually probably write a script for this. So it's possible to actually write a script for this. So what I'm going to do is, let's write a script. So we'll call it analysis 2. Analysis 2. Analysis 2. .sh. So remember, the first thing we want to do is this. Remember, the first thing we have to do is this. I mean, the shebang line, right? You have to write your shebang line. Sorry, let me type the option. The shebang line, which is root bin bash, right? So after doing this, so we have to like specify our URL, right? URL. So all we just have to do is come here and then copy this URL code. So into this, sorry, then copy. I want to copy this into this. So once you've done that, probably want to specify your output directory. And specify your output directory to be what? I mean, a result folder. And let's probably put it to be results folder. And then after that, so what you can do is now probably put call and say call. Okay, before that, because I actually want everything to be, so I'll just make a directory, make directory. But all of this line, this particular line, this first line, they are not really necessary. If you actually want to achieve it using one, I mean, single line of code, it's actually possible. But I'm just doing this. So make directory. So I want to do this output. So now we can now start writing our line of code. Okay, before even that, let me even touch. I can create my expected file. I can say, okay, final file, touch. You know, remember your touch. You know, we use touch to create a file. You can create an empty file just as a close folder. Touch and a final or final claimed. Final claimed dot txt or t, anything you want to call it, or tsv. Let's call it that one. So tsv. Now we can now start writing our code call. So you can put URL, $URL, right? And then pipe it to, so exactly what we just did previously. So that's what we are just doing here. So sort, I mean, you want to convert first, rather, set this, substitute all instances of comma with tab. You have to first use a back T. So you want it to be done. I mean, you want to like change all the occurrences of commas globally. Then wants to sort numerically the 6th column. So that's what this one is doing. It's this column, and then you want to pipe whatever you have, you want to pass it to awk for filtering and selection. So, and this is going to be like this: n out equal 1, right? Or $6 equal, I mean, it's less than 0.05, right? If you remember, then you can print, because we want to use this one. This particular one is to select column 1, column 6, and column 8. So 1, 6, and column 8. Column 8. So this one will select our intended column, right? And after doing that, so you have to, don't forget your closing this. So after doing that, you want to what? Pass it to column so that everything will be nicely formatted, right? You want to pass it to this one. And then when you are done, you want to redirect it to your what? So this particular file, this empty file that you've touched here, and then you can do this. So, and once you are done, I think this is our final code. You can now run it. You can run it. Comma X, yes. So you can say bash analysis 2, right? Syntax error expected, end of line. Sorry. Line 11, line 9, unexpected end of line, while looking for matching. I think probably I made a mistake somewhere. No. So call URL set. So this is correct. Walk this. Okay, the issue is from here. So less than this. Yes, okay. Hopefully it runs now. Soon as to you have to put X, sorry, control X, just this. So if you run our line, so let's see. And then ls, you know, where we store our result is in result folder. So we can seed into result folder, ls, and then we can now see. If you ls your stuff, you can see. So this is the file that we just generated. And then let's see it just to look at what is there. And you can see that we have everything. So I'm not sure whether everything makes sense. So this is just what I was trying to like tell you. So I can actually probably write all of these things. I mean, with just a single line of code. Although I might be saying you could argue that it's not a single line of code, which is fine, but I can actually make it a single line of code if I really want it. So if I really want to, let me just RNA analysis 2. So let's probably like comment all of this thing out. I could just comment I just want to show that it's actually possible. So I could probably just comment all of this out just to show you that this is possible. So this probably I'm not interested in generating any of this. So I can just probably come here, just copy this URL, then put it here. So I can just do this and then probably come here, Control E. Then what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to delete this. So final. So I'll just run it this way just to tell you that it's actually, you know, I've commented everything now. So this is just one line of code that I was telling you about. So probably if you don't want to be creating variables and things like that, it's still possible to see. So if I do this, you can see that we should have ls. You can see we should have like probably final. So you can see that we were able to like generate our final stuff. So we can this. So this is our output. If you less it and then paste this, you can see. So that is the one line of code I was telling you about. So it's actually very possible to actually do everything. And we didn't generate any intermediate file at all compared to what we were doing, yesterday. So this is just to tell you that, the code that we wrote yesterday was not really that efficient. So, but this is much more efficient because number one, you are not creating an intermediate file. And then you see got your intended results, and then you have just few line of codes. So we don't want to write too much in Unix. So thank you very much for your attention to this matter. So now we are going to go to today's uh, uh, topic, and our topic today is this.